The female lead really had it this time. She was only so harsh on them because of her deep affection for magical girls, leading her to bully them with such zeal. Unfortunately, she went too far, causing the blue-haired girl to fall from grace on the spot since the last time she bullied the pink-haired girl. The female lead, along with Chi-Woo and Gu Li-soo, formed a group specifically to torment magical girls. The yellow-haired and pink-haired girls were okay, as their combat abilities were unaffected, but something was off with the blue-haired girl. She showed no resistance in every fight, allowing the female lead to easily take her down. This puzzled the female lead. After the battle, the yellow-haired girl inquired about the blue-haired girl's condition. Sensing a slight issue with her teammate, the blue-haired girl was well aware of her malfunction and sincerely apologized. The pink-haired angel mediated between them, preventing a quarrel. However, today's incident left the blue-haired girl feeling uneasy. Ever since being educated by the female lead, it was as if a switch had been flipped in her body, leaving her unable to concentrate at all times. Xiao Bai, seeing this, came out to comfort the blue-haired girl, reminding her of their first encounter. At that time, a puppet appeared before the blue-haired girl, with a little girl nearby. So, the blue-haired girl stepped in front of the little girl, intending to protect her. She told the little girl to leave while she faced the puppet alone. But as a mere student, how could she possibly defeat the giant puppet? It was then that the pink-haired girl appeared just in time to rescue her and invited the blue-haired girl to become a magical girl. After reminiscing, Xiao Bai left the blue-haired girl to reflect alone, suggesting she take some time to rest. The next day, the blue-haired girl left her house for a stroll and happened to see the female lead in line. Suddenly, a girl cut in front of the female lead, making her uncomfortable. Wanting to speak up but hindered by social anxiety, she remained meek, a stark contrast to her boldness when bullying the blue-haired girl. Seeing this, the blue-haired girl stepped in to ask the girl not to cut in line. With the blue-haired girl's help, the female lead successfully got into the magical girl exhibition, and out of curiosity, the blue-haired girl also entered to see what it was like. She wasn't particularly moved, but the female lead was in heaven, drooling over the magical girl costumes and buying loads of merchandise. The blue-haired girl casually watched a movie about magical girls, then deeply realized she needed to overcome her psychological shadow regarding the female lead. Otherwise, her career as a magical girl was over. So, that evening, she went to the park alone, intending to confront the female lead one-on-one. However, with Chi-Woo away on a trip and Gu Li-soo asleep, the female lead arrived alone. Underestimating her own desires and the female lead's strength, the blue-haired girl was thoroughly bullied, resulting in the crystal on her chest breaking and her mind along with it. The female lead, initially reveling in her tyranny, was stunned by the blue-haired girl's fallen state. Was it possible she had gone too far, causing the blue-haired girl's mind to break? This upset the female lead, who scolded the blue-haired girl while holding her clothes. The blue-haired girl was speechless. Just moments ago, the bullying was enjoyable, but now that she had fallen, the female lead was angry. Being a magical girl was tough. After leaving, the female lead went to the rooftop of a building, waiting unhappily for Xiao Hei's arrival. She thought Xiao Hei would question why she didn't eliminate the magical girl, but he simply expressed indifference, stating that as long as the female lead was happy, it was fine. He hadn't expected the female lead to have such a side. Meanwhile, at the evil headquarters, other evil girls were gathering. Xiao Hei introduced the 4 individuals to the female lead. They were the early members of the evil organization: Sovereign Iluno, Nun Kijenti, blue-haired Lai Bell Bloom, tricolor-haired Lokomuska. Xiao Hei explained their absence was due to each of them hunting magical girls in different cities. The broken hearts on the ground were their trophies. Hearing this, the female lead felt unhappy. She wondered how anyone could hunt magical girls, who were so adorable. Before the female lead could voice her questions, Sovereign Iluno spoke from her throne. She had watched the battles between the female lead, Chi-Woo, and the magical girls, and found them utterly boring. She mocked the female lead's actions of bullying magical girls as laughable. Unbeknownst to her, bullying magical girls was precisely the female lead's hobby. Chi-Woo, standing by, felt annoyed by the mocking tone and was about to retort when she was ridiculed for being a little chick without stars. Sovereign Iluno's goal was clear: to conquer the world and rule it. However, Xiao Hei mentioned the timing wasn't right, which annoyed Iluno. Ignoring Xiao Hei's advice, she decided to conquer the world with her subordinates and invited the female lead to join them. This put the female lead in an awkward position. She had no interest in conquering the world. She preferred hunting for cute magical girls to bully. Sovereign Iluno, failing to recruit the female lead, became furious and ordered Nun Kijenti to take down the female lead. Sighing, Kijenti charged at the female lead, but Gu Li-soo used her powers to trap the nun in a dark room. The female lead and Chi-Woo then attempted to righteously gang up on her, only to be hung up and beaten by Kijenti, who could enlarge herself. The dark room was burst open, and the female lead and Chi-Woo nearly got squashed. At the last moment, Chi-woo used a bomb to disrupt Kijenti's control, and Xiao-hei opened a portal to rescue them. Chi-woo was unharmed, but the female lead was injured because she shielded Chi-woo with her body, causing Chi-woo to feel guilty. However, the female lead was thrilled. The female lead was now at full power, ready for her main event, but needed to recover first. She rested in Gu Li-su's hospital. After Chi-woo left, the female lead realized Xiao-hei had known about Sovereign Aluno's betrayal all along. That's why he had the female lead and Chi-woo transform into evil girls and use anti-detection magic to hide their true identities. But to the female lead, hunting magical girls was more important than these schemes. As a loyal fan of magical girls, how could she hunt them? She was very upset. Xiao-hei felt reassured, proud of choosing the female lead, who, even severely injured, still loved magical girls. Chi-woo, feeling too guilty, cried and decided to offer herself as a gift to the female lead, which Gu Li-su found disdainful. Meanwhile, Lokomuska was nearby, searching for the female lead, which annoyed Chi-woo, who was hiding and watching. Just as she was about to confront Lokomuska, Gu Li-su caught her. Chi-woo then had an idea to place Gu Li-su's doll on a ladder and charged at Lokomuska. They fought, but Chi-woo was clearly outmatched until Gu Li-su came to help, barely managing to hold off Lokomuska. Unexpectedly, Lokomuska's goal of conquering the world was just to become an idol, but her singing was terrible. After being mocked by Chi-woo, she cried and went berserk. Chi-woo and Gu Li-su had to retreat temporarily. Lokomuska, having failed her mission, faced punishment from Sovereign Aluno, a scene Xiao-hei witnessed. Now, it remains to be seen how the female lead will defeat them. The female lead was determined to quickly deal with Sovereign Aluno and her group because these evil girls had crossed her line. Anything could be done, but hunting magical girls was off limits. They were her beloved. So, she urged Xiao-hei to come up with a plan. Xiao-hei didn't disappoint and opened a portal directly to Lokomuska's concert. At that moment, Lokomuska was joyfully singing on stage, with a crowd of fans listening below, making her very happy. However, upon hearing Lokomuska's singing, the female lead's expression turned into one of life questioning. She had never encountered such a terrible concert before. Chi-woo, without hesitation, threw a grenade down, causing an explosion. Lokomuska and Libelle were startled, and then they noticed the female lead in her group. The audience, now freed from control, fled. The female lead sensed something odd, but before she could ponder, a battle ensued. Lokomuska launched the first attack but missed. At that moment, the female lead felt an anomaly. Her body suddenly couldn't move and she was hit hard. Spitting out blood, Chi-woo rushed to help anxiously. The female lead managed to break free from control and warned Gu Li-su and Chi-woo to be cautious. Suddenly, Libelle appeared behind the female lead, startling her. Chi-woo tried to help but found herself uncontrollably charging at the female lead, which terrified her because she didn't want to hurt the female lead. At this moment, the female lead understood Libelle's ability. She could control shadows, using them to manipulate others' bodies and teleport through darkness. But it was too late. The female lead and Chi-woo were being overpowered. However, the female lead wasn't weak. Despite not being at full power, her physical condition was strong. She wasn't incapacitated by Lokomuska and Libelle's attacks. When Libelle controlled Chi-woo, the female lead thought of a countermeasure. She used a flashbang to illuminate the surroundings, leaving Libelle nowhere to hide. Then had Gu Li-su capture Libelle with the dark room. The female lead threatened Lokomuska, saying she would crush the dark room if she dared to move. This worried Lokomuska. Now it was the female lead's turn. She was annoyed by the previous scuffle and was ready to unleash her nature, even drooling at the thought of bullying the evil girls, which she enjoyed. Using Libelle as leverage, she forced Lokomuska to perform a thoroughly enjoyable concert. Meanwhile, Chi-woo and Gu Li-su were on the sidelines. Despite the embarrassing situation, Lokomuska complied to protect Libelle. The female lead continued to taunt Lokomuska, saying her singing was terrible and that her fanbase was only due to Libelle's manipulation. Struck by lightning, Lokomuska recalled being despised by friends at KTV and even her mother's disapproval. Realizing the truth, Lokomuska understood she was tone deaf, far from idol material. With the female lead pressuring her to sing, Lokomuska reluctantly performed. After her performance, the female lead and Chi-woo gave their opinions. Although it was nice, the female lead confiscated their transformation tools and pondered their fate. As the female lead was contemplating, Lokomuska suddenly proposed becoming the female lead's ally, leaving her utterly baffled.